Welcome from the break. This is the Dialogue on Salt TV. My name is Prince Apollo. On the show this morning, we have Dr. Gerard Dweri Wanzala. Wanzala is a public policy researcher, but also an associate lecturer at Uganda Management Institute. We have Honorable Pongo Andrew. And Andrew is a politician, but also an aspiring member of parliament for Buburo West. We have on PLU, a pressure group aligned to the ruling government. And we have Charita Himsibwe Kalebu, and Himsibwe is an election expert, but also the executive director for Electoral Laws Institute, looking at the political environment in Uganda, characterized with money and the allegations of flags or tickets for money. What does that spell for the political future of this country, and how best can we get out of it? That is the question we'll be responding to in this second hour. Let me hear from you, Dr. Wanzala. How best can we get out of this if we have the NRM, the ruling party, drowning the internal processes with money, and now the opposition is doing more of the same? How are we? Do we have a way out?
I think one, we as private citizens, members of the public, and especially us in academia, in civil society, I think we have a duty to continue calling out these leaders to come to order. Because political parties are public institutions. For Uganda's case, if you win a parliamentary seat, a taxpayer pays 100 million to a political party for every member of parliament per year. So if you have 10 MPs, then every year you have $1 billion of taxpayers' money. So we cannot pay that money and then we look on when the quality of the political parties we are supplied with and the quality of democracy is confused, you know. The other is these problems we create in political parties, they result into poor choices of leaders. They result into corruption, because if I have bought in the primaries, then I buy in the general elections, and when I get to the office, what am I going to do? I'm going to sell Uganda. That is why when we were discussing the oil bill, the president said some MPs were conniving with the Kenyans, being bought so that they frustrate our bills in parliament, because they must steal and replace what they spent. That is why you are seeing some of them when we had a budget for cooperatives. Again, instead of the Ministry for Cooperatives paying the cooperative societies compensation, the MPs positioned themselves with law firms. All the billions appropriated for cooperatives to transform people were stolen. And we even don't know what has happened to the cases up to now. So if we have this confusion in the political parties, it is very, very dangerous for the country. We need to continue calling to order. We also need to build capacity, to evaluate capacity of these political parties. Where are they lacking? You know, where are the weaknesses? They are supported in terms of capacity building. And I think this funding from the Electoral Commission to the political parties, we need to review. When it goes to the political parties, what is it doing? Do you just present false accounting and you pocket it? Because the idea was that the taxpayer funds these institutions such that they become strong and be able to serve Ugandans better. So it is a challenge, but also for you to be helped if you are sick, you must accept that I am sick. Then you seek a doctor. But we saw after the NRM processes, for instance, I saw the national chairperson writing a huge statement congratulating members, thanking them for a very successful processes. But surely if you evaluated what happened in the NRM, was it very successful the way the chairperson was portraying it, when his own senior cadres like the Honorable Kadaga, Bariomusi,
Honorable
others,
Mukula.
they were telling him in his face that Your Excellency, this is fake at the delegates conference.
Isn't it something good to hear senior leaders like Honorable Mike Mukula, Honorable Chris Bariumunza, and Honorable Kadaga criticizing their own processes within the NRM? Isn't it a positive?
Yeah, because when when you are in such a tense context, contest, okay, you must give room to people to speak. Otherwise, they will explode. And I think that is why when they talk, at the same time they said, but we are still committed to the NRM. But now we have seen to the contrary in NUP. Well, maybe they don't have alternative positions to give them, but I see like in NUP for you to criticize the principle, it's like as if you are criticizing a deputy God somewhere, if at all God had a deputy. I think it's not good to create that environment where people fear to critique. Because you can objectively critique within the rules.
So you also believe what Andrew said, that they claim to be fighting a dictator, but they are also dictators in their own.
You see, I think in this country we don't learn lessons. Me, before I quit partisan politics, I was in the Uganda People's Congress. At the time I joined, I was in campus where I was a leader, and at that time we had a president in exile, but there are people who used to behave as if this leader was even here. That even when we went and buried him in Akokoro, there are people who still believe that Obote probably is alive somewhere, he's seeing them. So this kind of thinking, or if you establish an institution based on that kind of assumption, that a leader cannot be critiqued, a leader cannot go wrong, that is how institutions die. There should be processes for people to be listened to. There should be clear processes for appeal. If I'm not satisfied, like Mutebi Mai May of Chira, where am I going?
Something like an NRM tribunal?
No, it was not
but I
tribunal.
called it a court martial. A field court martial. Well, even as we prepare this process, because the Electoral Commission had a roadmap. The first one released about 2023. We had it revised. We had this year. But if you do first a process that is not transparent and democratic, then you don't even give people room for appeal. Like NUP released their results, their UNEB, how I call it, because it is similar. People wait as if they are waiting for UNEB with index numbers and so. So they released it days ago, and then after 3 days, there's nomination for councillors, for Lord Mayor. So what time do you have to seek redress, to appeal? There's no formula. So that's why I sympathized with my Mayor Mutebi. You're also running to PFF, whose direction is also not known, because even the leader is running for Lord Mayor, cannot market other people anywhere. So for MUP it is worse. Again, I think the same trick. They are waiting for the same trick to release the results, especially for Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono. Maybe 2 days to MP's nomination. So you don't have time to negotiate with the DF or to... Because, of course, political parties in Uganda are not really ideologically different. People just want to flag to access an office and stay there. That's why some are comfortable to be in the same position all the time.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Let me again tell our viewers that send in your comments and observations. Go to the chat box on the Salt Media app, and in the dialogue box, you can send in your comments and observations. Tell us what you think about these flags for money. What do they mean to the future of our politics? But again, is there a way out of this? And you can also send on our WhatsApp line, 0701 60 9906. Also, we'll read those comments on WhatsApp, but also on SMS platform. Andrew, what can we do in this case, where we have the ruling party submerging its internal processes with money, but also the opposition is doing the same. Is there a way out?
Thank you very much, Apple and our viewers outside there. You know, when two elephants fight, it's the grass to suffer. This goes to our people who are accepting these bribes, people who are trusting in the corrupt leaders, because that's already corruption. I define it as corruption. Because you know that I'm going to give in cash and get a ticket. That's all. It's like you are already buying. I've seen back in our villages where we come from, there are groups right now which are coming up. They say, for us, we're a team of businessmen. We can hope contribute some cash for you. You know, nowadays, politics, we buy it. If you need any political position, you need to have money. So such teams, I've seen them coming up, most especially in the Bugisu region. I don't know.
Preparing to buy political offices?
No, someone comes to a candidate. They say that for you, we see potential in you. You may go through. I have a team of people who can help you raise up money. When you go to parliament, for example, you will pay us such amount in return. Do you expect fairness there? So at the end, find a person who will go with assistance of that so-called a team. The first year, nothing will be done. Second year, nothing will be done. Third year, because you are paying debts for the people who supported you to go through. As a result, service delivery will go astray. People will not benefit. Because you bought them and they accepted, but there is now something to give in return. Of course, those businessmen have a business mindset. If they gave you 300 million, you have to return with 600 with interest, or even 800. That's why you see most of our leaders, once they go into those positions, they come back and they end and they fail, or they are not given flags like what is happening right now. You'll find them on foot because they don't have that money. Whatever they worked for was paid back to the owners. So it's the taxpayer to suffer. So I think government should really restrict money into elections or into campaigns. Before someone comes to politics, you should declare your source of income, and there should be a limited expenditure. They say that if you are coming from a member of parliament, they should assess you. There should be a body to assess you. They know your financial muscle. Then it will not surprise. It will not be a surprise to many of the people that such and such a person is paying this, at this, at least to regulate what is happening. Number two, there should be restrictions on political parties. The money which is given to them, like those ones which are in iPod, that money should have a clear budget and accountability.
The funds were increased now.
The funds were increased.
To up to, is it 35 billion?
Yes.
Exactly, 35 billion. For what? For what? When Ugandans are suffering, where is the accountability? This should be accessed, such information should be accessed with every Ugandan, because it's their taxpayers' money. So they should know the expenditure of the parties. After receiving the iPod money, and you see them moving around looking for contributions and sourcing for funding in other ways. All that money is for what? When the government is just looking, there should be a regulating body which guides.
It is the Electoral Commission this time.
No, Electoral Commission
That
has
is-
not played its part well. You know, of course, they will come and tell us, we have done this, we are doing this, but at the end, what is happening? So, politics of nowadays, it's like a market of silver fish.
Oh,
Whoever takes a big bowl takes a big share home.
okay. Thank you, Andrew. Charity, we are looking at a way out. How do we handle this if the opposition are also doing what the ruling party has been doing for quite a while?
You know, there are two things I'm going to remind you, Apollo. About 7 or 8 years ago, the president stood on the microphone and said, I'm going to eat the opposition like a sumbusa. I don't know if you remember that statement. Right now, the opposition has been eaten like a sumbusa because he promised that he will eat them as a sumbusa. And the opposition knew.
I remember he said there will be no opposition.
He also said I
that's
will
what he
eat
said.
them as
Yeah,
a
there will be
sumbusa.
no opposition. Yes.
But he said
A
that statement
proper sumbusa. Do you know how you eat a sumbusa? Sumbusa, you eat it, it gets finished. And there is nothing which is there.
So we don't have opposition?
Now, the opposition knew he was determined. He was going to eat them like that sumbusa he promised. So from that time when he made the statement, they needed to have been a bit more careful in the way they were organizing and the different scenarios that they were building around themselves. We find ourselves caught up in money, and this money actually is the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
And Andrew here has raised a fundamental point. He said, there are people who plan and say, let me give you this money, invest it. When you're there, refund my
You'll
money.
pay back.
These people who went to stand for presidential candidates, they know you need to pay 20 million, okay? But after you've paid 20 million and you've got the requisite signatures, you'll be given money by the state. You'll be given a car with policemen to guard you. It happened to Katumba Oye. His life changed for good. Katumba got some little money which he stayed around with.
Did I hear they
And
removed that privilege of giving money to candidates? I need to be.
They have now
They removed it.
If they have removed it, then that will have saved us. But that
But they'll give
But
them
you a
security.
car,
Yeah, they
they'll
give
you
them
the
But they'll
security
give
card,
them
they pay
security.
yes, but
Yes.
at least that is better. Giving them security, for me, I have no problem with it.
I think they
because
were
the
giving them
security-
50 million.
They are giving about 50 million. So if each person was going to get that kind of money, that was going to be a very big problem. But if they are not paying it, well and good. And I think Electoral Commission needs to come out and really, really clarify on that. The second thing which he talked about, and which I also agree with, is the question of iPod. And I think that was Werike Wanzala. Actually, the money of iPod, even the one that was paid before, you see, NUP had refused to join iPod. You remember?
Then they
said
increased
iPod,
the money.
Yes, they said iPod, the processes are not clear, they're not transparent, and we don't feel we can join iPod. The moment government released the money for iPod, and it was in billions, NUP joined iPod. Now, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? So they had refused. So now they joined when the money was increased. So it means we also want a fair share of that money. Now, if we are, because political parties need money to run, okay? Ant will need money to run, and the Ant has quite a number of, an amount of money that they are receiving, but very quiet they are right now, saying they're still building structures. And they're also saying they're still having conversations around leadership, and they have a good leadership team. But I have not seen them grow like we are seeing now the National Unity Platform. The National Unity Platform is growing. The problem with it is that it is growing without proper systems. It needs to set systems in place, because you cannot grow if you don't have proper systems in place. And they've seen other political parties and how they have grown. So how do we get out of the money conundrum? People who have been involved in bribery must be brought to book. Let's start with those who are in the NRM.
Who bought flags?
The ones that solicited for the money and the ones that gave the money. As long as it is proved
The money that was dished out in
Yes,
in Kololo?
because I will tell you that I listened to two listeners on, to two delegates on Radio West.
Yeah.
This is what they said. The listeners said, when I came to the delegates conference, I left with 1.5 million for free. This is how it came. Karwangwa called us. He first gave us 500,000. Then when he had finished giving us 500,000, Kasolo called us. He also gave us 500,000 from Piato. And Kasolo is a PLU member. He called them, he also gave them 500,000. Then Karangwa called them again the night before the election.
He doubled.
And said, I've doubled. The man said it on Radio West himself and said, now, the one who is saying you didn't give us money, you actually gave us money. And then he said, in addition to that, we were also being paid money as delegates. By the time we left, we were really feeling very good. There was a windfall. Those investigations must take place.
But I heard the chairman...
And you're saying, how do we get out of here?
Yeah.
Somebody must be...
I heard the chairman vow that even when all is said and done and the delegates conference is closed, if investigations find out that people have given out money or have done wrong or been involved in any form of irregularities, the party will take action.
That is what we want to see. We don't want words. That chairman is very interesting. He's a politician.
Action speaks louder than words.
That chairman has ever come and told us about the Mabati thieves. Me, I like that chairman. I know him very well. I have learned him too well. The chairman came and said, these Mabati thieves, all of them, as you see them on the list, they are finished. I'm sending them home. We only saw 2 people brought to book, but at least he brought us 2 people to book. Now he should also bring us some people to book on the other hand. We need some 2-3 people he has brought to book, and we have somewhere to start from. For the Mabati, he gave us a road deal. In fact, we gave up on the Mabati and we kept away. We left Nandutu and my sister Chitutu. The Karamoja Mabati.
Will continue to
the
suffer.
way he wrote that letter, me, I was amongst the people who was most convinced. I was on every radio station saying he has said, and since he is commander, he is really, my friend, what he did, we have never known what he followed up to now, and yet he swore. That time he swore, he said...
So you're not sure that he will take action?
He's a good politician. That is the best thing I can tell you about the chairman. He's a perfect politician.
Remember when he was in Kagada and he said you roast them like...
No one can beat the chairman.
What other action?
You see, even when he's mad, he will still... The other action. Because number one, some people must be brought to book. But it is a serious issue about bringing people to book. Why? Because Apollo, I started by telling you about our service delivery. Look at our education system. Look at the health centers. We keep talking about these things. Every year, 50 years, now we are 40 years, and you're saying you're doing what? Gains. What are you doing? The
protecting the gains.
So which gains are you protecting in the health sector? Tell me, what gains are you protecting? What are you protecting about people who go to hospital and they can't get anything? Muria Gwanja goes with her husband, very sick. The man dies. She can't access medicine. What are you protecting? What are you protecting? You're protecting the death of Ugandans? What are you protecting? This is what I'm asking. So we need to sit down, think a bit more carefully. There are some things which have been done, correct. Tell us, okay, maybe I'm protecting tourism. I'm protecting PDM for the ones who have benefited from PDM.
Peace and security.
I am protecting peace and security. And we accept, because for peace, yes, you're protecting it. But if it comes to health centers, it comes to education, it comes to roads, what are you protecting?
All right. What then can be done? At least you said the chairman, the NRM chairman,
yes,
may not be able to take action.
The chairman is a politician.
Let's look at the opposition. What can be done now
for the
to have the opposition also
for the opposition
get out of this?
They are also playing a lot of political games. The opposition is also playing a lot of political games. What we need for them to do is, number one, make their processes transparent for all the people who belong to the political
But they have failed. I'm saying, what can we do to force them to make their processes transparent.
Because
they have failed
us,
themselves.
the Ugandan citizens.
Yes.
It's for us to continue.
Or even Parliament.
It's for us to continue to demand that they do the things which are correct. No, the thing is, Parliament will not hold them accountable because their members are in Parliament.
The Electoral Commission.
The Electoral Commission will not hold them accountable
money.
because the Electoral Commission was supposed to ask every political party to provide financial accountability for the money they gave them before they give them new money for this iPod. They didn't do it. Where is the accountability for the money they gave them for the previous iPod?
Perhaps they submitted it.
Well, yeah, if they had, it is mandatory that Electoral Commission is supposed to publish that information. That information is supposed to be in the Gazette. It's supposed to be everywhere. Everybody should be able to access that information. NRM has accounted like this. NUP has accounted like this. JEMA has accounted like, because JEMA also got a bit of that cake.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
They have one MP.
And
Who is the president?
Yes. So in terms of democracy, accountability should have been done. And
so everything is shrouded in
nothing. So if there is no accountability,
yes,
how do we hold you accountable? How do we ask you to improve? How do we help you to improve?
All right.
Even in class, when I sit for an exam, I will be scored. They will tell me you got 50, you got 100, you got 99, such that I see where I'm supposed to improve on the conundrum. But if I don't sit the exam, I cannot be scored.
Let me look at the comments coming in. Viewers, we are looking at the flags for cash and how best can we get out of this as a country. But also, we'll be quickly talking about the slogan of the 2026 campaign for NRM, protecting the gains. Are there gains to protect? And does this slogan really resonate with what is in Uganda? Let me read the comments from you. Thanks. Greetings, Mr. Polo. I am Ivan from Bokoto. Thank you for the program. I always believe in my slogan, trust in God and time. Now, Madam Charity, time has shown you what you try to see. Nti manvuli ye real opposition party. But now you even forgot someone who told you rubber dub style. Now it's in play. The general once said chewing opposition like samosas. If Kano is not in the real opposition, why is he jailed party like Mandela? The general knows the true next of kin. Behavior. My Uganda, my life. I don't know if you picked something from this message, but it is very clear in Enoran. Thank you. Thank you, Ivan. Somebody says, Honorable Kamana Jew, thank you for representing our thoughts, because the money which was sent in the SEC elections was exorbitant. This is Sharifa from Buburo West. That is your vote, I hope, from Buburo West.
I'm so happy that
he says you represented them well. That is what she's saying. Thank you so much, Sharifa, for watching. Good morning, Mr. Polo and the panel. Thank you for the educative show, the dialogue. And I'm Aberkeru Akampumuza. And his message is, Mr. Polo, I sympathize with Charity. Let me inform her that people with ideas don't participate in these processes, but those with money do. So how do you expect money not to be part of the processes? All we need is a political hygiene in our country, and he is Abel Keru Akampomoza. Political hygiene, how does that come? How does that happen? I think that is what we are trying to find out. How do we start that political hygiene? Somebody says, no hope in our position. They signed MOUs, but what's happening to them now as we head into 2026? They are in fact against their own fellows. Thanks for the show. I am Mukta in Wakiso. Thank you so much, Mukta, for watching and for following the debate. Hey Soul TV, I am Akandwanaho Aban in Rugarama, Kajunju, Chabujimbi, Bushenyi district. Opposition will always be chewed like a chapati. Let me look at Akaboxi if we have somebody in the chat room. Oh, I think they are still preparing, but I implore you again, please go to the chat box, Akaboxi, and it is only for those who are watching over the Salt Media app. It is easy to install. Go to the Google App Store, go to the Apple App Store, download the new Salt Media app, and it has many features. There is even a chat section where you can go and send in your comments and observations during each and every program that runs on Salt Media. So I implore you to always go to that section, because in future we may not have these other platforms of WhatsApp and SMS. We'll be only using the chat box. Thank you so much, and we need to wind up. Charity, had you concluded so that we delve into this next topic in these few minutes? Chaine Sanyonjo.
I think.
Okay, a minute. Chaine Sanyonjo. I remember he was posted in from Nabila took to where RDC Butebu. Oh, he's watching, and he sends in a comment. According to the Bible, one gives what one has. NUP, which has for years claimed to fight dictatorship and ushered in democracy, has been unmasked. NUP would usher a worse dictatorship than Ugandans can imagine. NUP is not democratic and cannot give us democracy. Number two, are you aware NUP is not a political party, but a political gang, particularly going by its origin and conduct of public matters? If it was a religious outfit, NUP would pass for a cult. Let me hope these allegations are backed up by evidence. Charity put it well to say that an opposition party ought to do better to prove that it's a better alternative. Whereas there has been commercialization of politics, NUP seems to worsen the malady. NUP is actualizing the Raswerian view. I think that is the A-level economics. Let me hope. Raswerian. That politics is about who gets what, when and how. Cards sold to the highest bidder. Hence, primitive wealth accumulation among key top leaders. In Uganda would say, Zona Mpai Pai. Solution. Solution. Instead of reading, Cry My Beloved Country, citizens of goodwill must continue condemning the evil of money, politics, or pressure for a law that limits monetized political processes.
The law is there.
That is what I wanted to hear from you.
No, the law is there.
Do we have laws?
The law is there. The law on monetized politics is
Thank
clear.
you so much, Cheyune Senyonjo.
Bribery is condemned by the Penal Code to the extent that you must be remanded to Ruzira if found guilty of bribery. The crime is you who solicits for the bribe and the one that gives the bribe. But the standard and the elements for bribery are also stipulated by the law. So the law, we cannot fault it. Let me hear from you, Doctor. But I wanted to conclude on one thing. My friend who says the hygiene.
That we need political hygiene.
Yes, he says we need political hygiene, but he says we leave the money there. Now he has contradicted himself. My dear viewer, you have contradicted yourself. Why? Because one of the elements which must promote hygiene is taking the money out of the politics. We are not saying that the whole political process can be run without money. You must print posters, you must give lunch, and the law allows for that.
Sure.
The Political Parties and Organizations Bill allows that you will have money for running a proper campaign. But what is not allowed is paying you money. Why? If you listen to
and
the
you
voter,
come to a radio talk show,
if you listen to the voter who was on Radio West,
that I was given money,
he said, because this one gave me more money, I had made up my mind on Kasolo because of the things he talked about. But when the other money came in, I started to think, I've eaten the money of the man. How can I go away without giving him the vote? So the money now becomes the reason for choosing the leader, not the principles and the values the leader espouses.
So the IGG should get involved.
If we talk about hygiene, then hygiene, which my friend is alluding to, begins to think about principles, values, and how money does not work in tandem with principles and values of leadership.
Dr. Were Wanzala, is the law clear on how money should be used during elections?
Yeah, under our laws, it prohibits bribery in elections to influence a voter. And also it prohibits using money by virtue of your office as an incumbent. That's why people had to resign before contesting for political offices. However, what is lacking is one, respect for the rule of law, but also two, we were championing for a comprehensive law just to regulate campaign financing, from how you source the money, how you account, which areas are you prohibited from getting this money. So the law is not comprehensive enough. And under the reforms we have always demanded, and which also the courts talked about, is that government of NRM has not bought into this, and yet they have the majority in parliament, and they are also in charge of reforming these laws over and over again. So I think that it is deliberate, that probably if such a law came, it would disadvantage some people who are used to a habit of spending. Now, coming to the rule of law, it is the biggest problem, the respect. Because if you don't respect your processes within a political party, it means you don't respect the law. Then we have the regulator. Charity, I'm building on what Charity talked about. She talked about publishing. But there are things that are happening that you cannot imagine. I will take the case of the Uganda People's Congress. You have a botched electoral process in 2015. One group goes and raids its secretariat. It installs a political leader.
In
Jimakena. Others go to court. They go and petition up to the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. It rules that this guy is illegitimate. It orders the recognized one, Walubiri, to hold the election. They hold, he wins, but the Electoral Commission recognizes and continues to give taxpayers' money to a group which is illegal. Isn't it? And yet, there's a reason why.
Is blatant disrespect.
Disrespect for the rule of law by an institution charged with regulating matters of political parties. Now, there is a case upcoming, I think on Monday, this week. One of the political party leaders in UPC, I think Joseph Ocheno, petitioned court to convict Jimmy Akena of contempt of court.
Of course.
But he's committing this contempt of court with who? Because the Electoral Commission continues to participate in the contempt of court.
He could have also received the billions of iPod.
He receives. He has received now for 10 years.
He does because he has representation in Parliament.
Can the existing law also help us with people who are buying flags, like in the opposition?
Yeah, of course, if you have a law, a national law, regulating
the existing law, can it help us?
No, it is not comprehensive enough, but it can help if there is evidence
the
that there is
political parties
bribery.
and organizations bill would hold political parties accountable for bribery within the political party.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me read these messages and then we conclude. We only have less than 10 minutes. Hey, man, again, I'm Akandoho Aban. Ndiahabwe in Garama, Kajunju Bushenyi. I support the opposition, but the problem is that opposition parties fight themselves. Me, I think in order to stop being chewed by NRM, they should support a person like Besije because he has the capacity to rule. Okay, that is your view. It is not a contradiction, Madam Charity. I am simply saying that's what is spoiling the politics of this land. Okay, that is okay. So with political hygiene, we need to stick to the guidelines and the comprehensive law on usage of money in an election. Aberkeru akampumusa. And somebody says NRM is comfortable celebrating what's taking place in our opposition, though they have their own internal conflicts. They must review their MOUs to register at least 10% success in 2026. Otherwise, nothing much is expected, as I said. Actually, he speaks something I have realized and observed. The NRM are actually celebrating what is happening in NUP. the buying of cards or what, but they are doing the same. They've been doing the same.
Actually, they are not doing any better. And now
And
the
they are
NRM
laughing
think
at
that,
NUP, yet they were sharing money in Kololo. That is amazing.
So no, for them, their happiness is that now these
You
ones
look
are also
like us.
yeah, they look like
Yeah,
us.
you
They
resemble
are
us.
the other.
You are our cousin. After all, we are not alone.
Okay.
Before now, we look
So
like
they are,
we were
they are
alone.
celebrating
Yes.
that.
We have cousins.
And Doctor, let me tell you
That
something.
conformity.
Yes.
Last time I was listening to a certain politician. He said that chairman, he's actually a funny guy. When you are in light like this, he may press somewhere and switch off the light.
The NRM chairman.
Yes, I don't want to mention him. And slaps you. Then after puts back the light and say, oh, I want to deal with the person who slapped you. Yet he's the one who has that. So he's saying that I want to fight bribery. But it is being seen in broad daylight in NRM. I passed by Kololo, a president where the elections were conducted. They stopped me where I was within, but I met groups of people they were dishing money like nothing. I said, what is happening? This is a market for money exchange? Or what? What will happen, my brother, in a nearby future? Our politics is going to lose it all.
Sure.
I think,
That's unfortunate.
you know, you cannot invest in something which is not going to profit you. True. The money which members of parliament, for example, are getting, if we woke up and we said we have reduced it, an MP is getting 10 million a salary. Maybe this bribery and dishing it of money and buying tickets, what is happening?
They know the
higher
benefit,
prices.
The benefit
Will
is
not happen because they know the benefit is less.
Yeah.
All
right.
Like now, if you became a magistrate 1 or a magistrate 2, you're going to earn 5 million. How many people want to apply to be magistrates? Not very many.
Not
Except
very
if
many.
you have just finished
True.
your law degree, then you want to apply and start. But if you have a lot of experience, which should ideally be good, you don't want to go and sit there because you know that you're not going to get any money anywhere. You're only dealing with the papers and you're going to get 5 million at the end of the month.
All right, let me read this message as we conclude. Mr. Apollo, greetings. I am Bridget in Kololo. All NUP boys are around in a period of 5 years. They all did, she calls it weddings and built houses. yet foot soldiers are building collabos in all prison homes around. They keep out on planes, etc. How can you want to run Uganda, yet you keep in Canada, USA? Banange, let's wake up. What is you doing for Uganda? Nup gents, she asks. Thank you, Apollo. Museveni Kalakata. Naye Mambi Free BSJ. He was with you in Luwero, at least, and you have a humble heart journal. All right, thank you so much, Bridget. We are pleased that you and many others are watching. But we have to close this show. Let's have our concluding remarks. And our concluding remark will be on the slogan for the NRM 2026-2031, protecting the gains. Charity had made her submission, but she will conclude. Doctor, we are protecting the gains come 2026-2031.
Yeah, of course, I will be very dishonest to be here and I say, in 39 years, close to 40, you have not done anything. Relative stability, I think is right to say, protecting the gains. Access to clean water in some places where we used to, like if I went to my home now in Bubutu Town Council, I have National Water and Sewage Corporation, I see, and I've seen gravity water schemes in different places. So those diseases that were as a result of sanitation have reduced. We have seen expansion in terms of schools, in terms of universities, in terms of The challenge is with the quality. So if he says he's going to consolidate the gains, but I think not only the gains, there is more that we demand. We demand that the current runaway theft of public resources is contained, because it is not a gain for us to keep. We demand that while Ugandans have food, we demand that we have big potential if we also focused on agriculture improvement. So while there are gains, we believe that there are areas in health services, access to health care, that we have many health centers constructed, but the services in those buildings are not there. So people are opting for small clinics, especially in the villages where diagnosis is poor. It's based on guesswork. People have developed resistance for antibiotics, and so every day, that's why burial has become a major job of politicians. Every day they are burying. So it is people are dying because of small.
So whereas there are gains,
yes,
there is much to do.
There's a lot to do.
A lot to do. Thank you so much. And your concluding remarks, Andrew?
Thank you very much, Apollo. My concluding remarks will not differ from what Doctor said. So much as we've seen a lot happening, but aside, I want to thank the government, at least somewhere.
There are some gains.
Yeah, there are some gains. When you talk about security, when you talk about health care, we talk about education, we talk about infrastructure. We've seen roads being done, though the others, which are in sorry state. We have hospitals, though in other hospitals there is no medicine. We are having beautiful buildings around. You go to the hospital and they tell you, wait for the nurse, is at home. We are paying people, but we cannot access proper medication. So much as they say that we are protecting the gains, there's a lot to be done for this nation.
One word to the people of Bubulo.
My people of Bubulo, I thank you so much for being on salt. Actually, I was so happy to hear from one of my voters, Sharifa. This is the time. Resist from bribes and vote people with ideas. People who are going to serve you diligently. People who knows your problems. People who have not been hiding in the cities. People who don't just join you in barriers. Please, this is the time we wake up. Resist from the little bribes they're giving you.
Thank you.
As a politician, they may be coming there. You know, they like barriers, as I sum up. Someone will come around and say, I've offered 50,000 shillings. The 50,000 shillings, you dance for them. A voter, your salary will be 100 shillings. Each year you are paid 100 shillings. When the term of 5 years elapses, the 500 goes. The same person gets back to you as they're developing themselves, forgetting the problems of their own.
Thank you. Charity, just in 2 minutes, protecting the gains, is it a slogan that rhymes or resonate with the realities in Uganda?
It sounds a very good slogan for them because they are going to run for political office. But for me, from a very citizen perspective and from a very Ugandan perspective, the correct slogan should have been deprotecting the gains as to 1, corruption, as to 2, poor service delivery in hospitals, and I name where drugs have been stolen, where improvements need to be done in the hospitals. 3, deprotecting the gains made from poor service delivery in schools, where students are still learning under trees, where goats have taken over schools. Yesterday, school inspector was in a school and the school had no place for even the teachers to sleep. They sleep in classrooms. The commissioner for education themselves was there and saying, now what is this? What kind of education are we running? So for me, it would be deprotecting the things that have failed their own system. Corruption in PDM, deprotecting the corruption in PDM. Then I show you this is what I'm going to tackle. because now the others, I have done them, now I should tackle these problems, which I clearly know do exist and have failed me from achieving what I would have attained for being in government.
Thank you so much, our viewers, and thank you so much, my panel. Thank you so much, Dr. Wirihe. It's always a privilege having you on the show, and I'm sure I will be again here next week. Thank you so much, Andrew, your maiden show on the dialogue. Thank you, and greetings. Take our greetings to the people of Buburo West, and we wish you the best. Charity, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. The production team, thank you so much for doing all this. And to those who sent in comments and observations, thank you. Until next Saturday, the dialogue will be back with much more. Good afternoon. God bless you. Stay well. God bless Uganda.